It's no secret that horror games have never been my favorite thing to play, but I do have a weird appreciation for them. So, with spooky season finally upon us, I figured I would attempt to play a game that fit the theme. Now, if you've been following us for a while, you would know that last year for Halloween, we had attempted to force our way through Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's just say that was an experience.
I'm dead. You don't see me. You don't see me. I'm playing dead. Oh, God.
So, with a new year and a new spooky season upon us, I needed to find yet another scary game to platinum so that we could celebrate All Hallows Eve properly. While I was bashing my brain trying to find a game, it dawned on me. There was a game that I had watched Markiplier play years ago that had a place deep in my memories. How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and happy Halloween! That's right, it's Halloween. I hope you guys are having a great day today, staying happy, healthy, and safe, most importantly. But that's right, guys, it is officially spooky season, which means for every year I usually try to play a spooky game because I'm not a huge fan of horror games, but I at least try and branch out and play a horror game during the month of October. Now, last year what we did to celebrate Halloween was to play Five Nights at Freddy's. Funny enough, Five Nights at Freddy's movie is out today or the day of recording, so that's fun. But this year I wanted to change it up a little bit and dive into a game that's been on my radar for a minute. Now this year I decided to play Until Dawn. Now Until Dawn is a nice little blend of horror and interactive storytelling. It places players in control of 8 young adults who are trapped on a remote mountain lodge haunted by supernatural forces. Throughout the game, players must make difficult decisions, solve puzzles, and manage the relationships between these characters. Now, these choices you make really influence the narrative. This leads to various branching storylines and multiple possible endings. Acquiring the Platinum Trophy for Until Dawn is not just about unlocking an achievement. It's about immersing oneself in the intense and gripping world of interactive horror storytelling and a journey filled with challenges and rewards. Now, this game takes full advantage of the PS4 controller mechanics by throwing the player into very specific action sequences. These action sequences feature mostly QuickTime events or QTEs, where you simply press a specific button in a short amount of time. The second type of situation involves hiding from a threat by holding the controller as still as possible when a "don't move" prompt appears. This game really felt like it had everything to potentially be one of the best horror games I've played. So, with that, let's kick back, get your Halloween costumes ready as we go through our Platinum experience for Until Dawn. Now, the Platinum Trophy for Until Dawn is not Telltale series easy, but it's not Dark Souls hard either. Players must carefully plan their playthroughs to ensure character survival while still making decisions that lead to game completion. The game's branching narratives make this an intricate and demanding task. A single wrong decision can lead to a character's demise, requiring part of another playthrough. Players must also complete a series of demanding objectives that test their knowledge of the game's intricacies and their ability to make critical decisions under pressure. After looking at the trophy list, I was able to split everything up into about 3 different sections. Number 1, complete the game, where you play through the game and try to keep as many of the characters alive as you can, all while trying to collect all your clues and totems. Number 2, collectibles. Throughout the game, you can find totems, which give you small glimpses into the future, and they give you possible outcomes with each decision. And you also have clues for 3 separate backstories that really round out this narrative. And finally, number 3, alternate realities. Until Dawn's defining feature is its branching narrative. Each choice you make can lead to a life or death consequences for each character. To earn the Platinum Trophy, you'll need to go back through specific chapters and change the outcome of the entire game. One of which will you need to play Devil's Advocate and ensure that no one makes it out alive, along with other specific outcomes. Additionally, collecting all the totems and solving the game's mysteries requires thorough exploration and an analytical mindset. Some totems are well hidden, and the game's atmosphere can be genuinely terrifying, making it a nerve-wracking endeavor. Your experience begins with a party being held up on a lodge on the famous Blackwood Mountain. A group of friends staying at this lodge decide to play a prank on a girl named Hannah, whose parents just so happen to own the lodge. Not a smart play in my book. This prank ends up with Hannah running out of the lodge into the snowy mountains with her sister, Beth, following closely behind to try and console her. Unfortunately, this leads to both of their deaths as they meet their doom at the bottom of an abandoned mineshaft. Well, that escalated quickly. The story then continues 1 year later at the same cabin, setting up what would become easily the most intense horror game I've played to date. So the main portion of my first playthrough... Did I get you? Yeah, I got you. Anyways, the main portion of my first playthrough of the game was to simply just play through the game and try to keep all of our hormone-riddled teens alive in the process. And why was this harder than it sounded? Well, with each chapter, there are choices that may determine whether or not a character dies by the end of the nightmare-filled night on Blackwood Mountain. And these choices may not affect your playthrough right away. Say that you make a bad choice in Chapter 2. Well, that choice may not cause someone to die until Chapter 8. And that, for all intents and purposes, can cause quite a bit of added stress. But once I got through some of the earlier chapters, I realized that this game wasn't as hard as I was making it out to be, and I was doing surprisingly well for someone that wasn't a fan of horror games. Well, mostly. The biggest one... Jesus! Now, I will admit, the game got me a few times, but overall, I was actually enjoying this game for what it was. The story was well written, the gameplay, although simple, was still very enjoyable, and the characters had interesting side stories that kept me hooked while I played. Needless to say, overall, I was actually having fun. Now, I mentioned that you need to be able to finish the game and have everyone survive for one of the 19 trophies in the game. On my first playthrough, while being stressful, I was doing great at keeping everyone alive. And unfortunately, this happened.
Oh, you're not real! No, you're not! Ah! 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 Ah!
Yep. We lost someone. What got to me the most was that this event happened because I missed just one piece of the puzzle that could have changed this entire outcome. I told you, you miss one simple thing and it can change the outcome of the entire game. But I then realized that I could still get a trophy for keeping all of the girls alive in the group until dawn.
He said it.
Oh boy, I really hate it here. But nevertheless, we continued on with this horrible experience. After our little mishap, we eventually ended up back at the cabin with everyone facing the true danger on this mountain, Wendigos. It turns out that those trapped spirits I mentioned earlier were the spirits of both a few miners that got trapped during a mine collapse all the way back in the 1950s, and that of Josh's sister, Hannah. Yeah, you remember those two girls we talked about in the beginning of the video? One of them lived and became a Wendigo. Eventually, we were able to get everyone out of the cabin safely and turn those monsters into makeshift firewood, thus getting us a couple of the trophies that we needed. Unfortunately, I was about 6 collectibles away from getting 3 other trophies for getting all of the totems, clues, and items. So, we continued doing what trophy hunters loathe and finally got all those collectibles. We can now move on. Now that all the collectibles were found and we now knew the entire background for this game, we could focus on the alternate realities section of the trophy guide. For this, all I'll need to do is play through most of the game again and make sure no one survives, replay the last chapter so that Josh will make it through this time, and finally go through specific chapters so that certain decisions can be made in order for specific trophies to pop. After that, we should have our platinum. Starting off with the easiest of the 3 paths, I went back through the final chapter again and picked up the single piece of evidence that changed Josh's outcome. All I needed to do was find his sister Hannah's diary down in the mines, and instead of Wendigo Hannah killing Josh, she drags him away, never to be seen again. Or so we thought.
We have a visual on a survivor. 1 survivor, repeat. Is that?
Oh, fuck! Stay back! Stay back! No, no! Stay back!
Then, all we had to do was finish the chapter the way we did before, and that led us to 2 more trophies. Now with that out of the way, we can start the fun playthrough. For this run, you can actually start at chapter 4, since the decisions made up until this point won't actually get anyone hurt. Thankfully, I'd be able to get the no one survives ending while only missing 1 other trophy other than our platinum. We made sure to make the wrong choice of saving Emily as Matt, choosing to sacrifice Ashley during the Russian roulette game, which actually in turn is the end of the line for Chris. Ashley opened the wrong door, Mike shot Emily, Jessica was too weak to make a decision, Josh met his doom once again, Sam couldn't stay still, and finally, Mike went out with a bang. Thus, the no one makes it out ending was complete, along with all but 1 trophy. Thankfully, the last trophy I needed required me to turn on the lights of the cabin as soon as we come face to face with the Wendigos, as soon as I'm given the chance. And with that, our platinum experience of Until Dawn had come to a close. Earning the Platinum Trophy in Until Dawn is a testament to a player's dedication, strategic thinking, and skill, most importantly. It's a journey fraught with challenges, from navigating the treacherous decisions that impact character survival to discovering hidden mysteries and collecting all totems. The Platinum Trophy represents the ultimate accomplishment for fans of the game, demonstrating their mastery of this captivating horror adventure. Though slightly demanding, the pursuit of the Platinum Trophy in Until Dawn is a rewarding and thrilling endeavor, making it a highly sought after platinum for any hunter. Thank you guys so much for watching the next installment of the Platinum Experience series. I hope you guys did enjoy this. This was one that I was sort of dreading to make, but also excited to. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of horror games. I'm a wimp, whatever. But I do appreciate what the horror community can bring to gaming. You know what I mean? So, if you did like this video, go ahead and leave a like down below. Let me know what you liked about it in the comments, or what can I improve on. I like to hear back from you guys. But don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all our socials, Platinum Gamer 49, as always. And until next time, guys, we will see you then. Peace.